When starting or growing my business, how do I get social network technology to work for me? It's a great question. In today's world, in today's marketplace, it's most important that you have an understanding of the big picture of social marketing and how today's social network technology needs to be integrated with your social marketing efforts. All too often I find small business owners, people wanting to start business, get all excited about the power of Facebook or about the power of LinkedIn or about the power of Twitter. Yes, they are all very, very powerful. As a matter of fact, it's always my suggestion to start to build your base in Facebook. Why? Because you are dealing essentially with family and friends. And when you are building a business or starting a business, those are folks that you should turn to right away to help you in your journey. We have found in David's Barter community that trying to focus on just one of the what is called social media is really a waste of resources for us. It's been a waste of resources for us. I know, I remember when I first got started in this internet social network technology thing, social marketing, that I actually paid in the neighborhood of just under $6,000 for consultants to help me build a strategy in this new technology. As I look back on that, it was pretty much a wasted $6,000 because they didn't move my objective, my business objectives forward with their so-called consultant expertise, two individuals. What I did learn is what I could have actually learned on my own, what works and what doesn't work. I have been marketing and sales is my expertise of 40 years. And I have found that although we need to understand how to communicate with today's businesses, today's consumers, who are very online focused, who use their cell phones, their mobile phones, their smartphones in most of their daily communications. So it is the social network technology is different, but it still is just a part of what I call social marketing. Social marketing takes into consideration all those very traditional marketing skills and techniques if they work for you. But as a small business owner or as an individual starting a business, it certainly isn't incumbent upon you to understand which of those are going to work for you. And where do you focus the probably limited resources that you have in your marketing endeavors. I have created a list of 7 must-haves in your social marketing, social network technology strategy, which quite honestly, these things have not changed. I would have given you the same information 40 years ago. What has changed as I mentioned, is how we communicate with the rest of the world. And I should say too, these are absolute for sure, but they are not the only ones. These are the ones that came to mind of recent as I'm putting together my new YouTube video ebook, How Do You Answer These 749 Questions About Starting Your 2013 Small Business. Number one, relationship. Business is truly about building relationships. It's not taking the position that what you have is the greatest thing ever created. Your business idea, your product, your service. It may very well be. But the way to establish a rapport is to build a relationship. And guess what? That relationship starts with listening. Listening so that you understand what it is that your expertise, what pain will it alleviate, what problem will it solve. But you don't find that out unless you do a good job of listening. Number two, brand. How do you build your brand, whatever that might be? And social network technology and the social marketing that goes into building your brand, it's never been a better time with the technology to be able to use the resources that are available. I'm reminded that about 5 years ago, my son Jordan, who was then a sophomore, in between his sophomore and junior years, marketing student at the Ohio State University. That summer, we spent a lot of time together, and he said to me, "Dad, you are not branding yourself properly, therefore you're not positioning yourself properly, and therefore you are not marketing yourself properly." And I said, wow, 2 years into your college business marketing education, and I'm going to get some good information now. So we spent the summer, a good part of the summer, re-strategizing, rebranding myself, which caused a different positioning and certainly changed the way that I was going to market myself. And it was that late that summer that I started to write my book, my first book, How Do You Answer These 749 Questions About Your Small Business. That's how I was going to brand myself. That's how I was going to position myself. And it was a wonderful exercise. And I thank my son Jordan for taking me through that experience. The third must is, how do you really show confidence? Showing confidence is getting comfortable with first listening to understand what the challenges are, what the pain is, and then in a very casual atmosphere to suggest good working solutions and how you can bring value. What is your value proposition to bring to that customer, to that prospect? But it's a matter of really showing confidence, and that certainly comes in your behavior. It's not to tell the world that you're the greatest that there ever was, but it's why and what it is that you say that really best exemplifies that confidence. Language. Very simply, the language that you use is very basic in the concept of good communication. It's always about good, not good communication, great communication. And it comes by with the language that you use, the subject lines of your emails, the titles of your blogs. It's about good communication, and the language that you use is extremely important. You can't speak the language you use. You can't be speaking down to the individual, but you must create more of a level playing field with that individual. Once again, it goes back to, how are you building the relationship, the business relationship? Oh, by the way, too, it's not a bad thing to bring personal elements into the concept of that business relationship. I can say very directly that, and I haven't had, when I work one-on-one with folks, I haven't had thousands of folks that I've worked one-on-one with over the years. I've been very fortunate in being able to pick out the people that I wanted to work with. And so having less folks gave me more time to build personal relationships with that individual. And I can honestly say, over the years, included in my groups of best friends, have been many clients that I've had. Structure. What structure do you bring to what it is that you are trying to do? Very clearly, that structure is demonstrated in the system that you have developed and the process you have developed, which enhances your system. Those are two very distinct lessons that I have learned in the reading and the interacting that I've done with Michael Gerber, who stresses how important it is, the system that you build within your business. And of course, it's not just that system that you have built, it's the process that surrounds that system. What that does for you, ultimately, is allows you to step away from the business if you need to, because the system and the process begin to run themselves. If you don't have that having a system and a process demands that it takes careful thought. It takes writing things down, documenting things that you do. There's a lot of trial and error in it also, and that's what business is all about. It's the trial and error of things. There's a lot of things that you need to try in your business. I call it test and measuring, and I call my business over the years as an ongoing journey, a journey that every day I try to find something new that will make my system and my process even better. That structure. Rapport. What is the rapport that you have with your employees, with your partners in business? And when I say partners in business, this might mean those service providers who give you assistance in what it is that you do. I really call this rapport the essence of small business collaboration. Small business today, the new business model being written and practiced by small business, is one of collaboration. You have something of value for me and will improve my life, my business. I have something of value to you that will bring something better for your business. And together we collaborate. That might be in the form of bartering, the purest form of collaboration, where we trade what it is that I have for what it is that you have, because we will get equal value. And guess what happens when small businesses collaborate with one another? Not only do they improve their own businesses and help the other individual improve their business, but together they will form new business opportunities. That happens inevitably. And it goes back to the concept of community. How important are communities today that we live in, we operate in, we communicate in? Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. They're communities. They're communities that have a specific social network technology. That's what makes them effective communities, is that social network technology that they possess. Finally, ask. You must ask. You must ask good questions. You must ask, as you are talking with somebody, next steps, what happens next, and you must ask ultimately for the sale at the appropriate time. Don't be afraid to ask. Ask good questions, and there's no better question than can I have your business? Have I demonstrated enough value so that the money that you invest in what it is that I do will demonstrate a return on your resource investment, as well as bring value to your life and value to your business? These are just 7 things that are must-haves. And one exercise that I'm personally going to go through is I'm going to see which of Brian Tracy's 100 absolutely unbreakable laws of business success. There's 100 rules. I'm going to see which questions and which laws each one of these characteristics. What law is it? What law does it exemplify? And I'll share that information with you very soon.